Alright guys, welcome to another episode of the Carrendo show. And once again we have DJ Mark.
Thanks for having me.
So before we get into it, I need you guys to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the hell out of it so we can keep growing, keep this coming, and yeah man.
Yeah.
How you been?
Good, and you?
I've been alright. It's just so much going on, the presidential election.
Yep.
The technology. Did you see the vice presidential debate?
No, I didn't.
But I'm sure you heard about what happened, right?
Yep. Yeah.
The whole world, the fly
Yeah.
on Mike Pence's head, like that's pretty fucked up. Like, I really don't hear nobody talk about this vice president, and like now the one time
Everyone talking about it.
yeah, he's famous for a fucking fly. Like,
Yep.
it just landed on his head. It was there for like 2 minutes at least. So. But yeah, man, thanks Mark for being here once again, man.
Thank you, man.
It's a pretty fly hat right there. You got.
Thank you.
It's got all the Pokemon. You want to be a Pokemon master?
Gotta catch him up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, gotta talk to Mark. And fuck, we're talking right before we're recording. Little Mark's fucking bagging on me, saying I need to change the wardrobe. So looks like we're gonna have to work on that and see how that goes.
Yep.
Increase the budget on the clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark, what's new with you, man, since the last time?
Nothing much, man. Just work.
Bit busy.
Yep.
Crazy with the coronas.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. What's been 6 months? It's been since March, whatever. I mean, October.
For October, yeah.
7 months?
7 months, yeah.
That's crazy, man. And we still like.
We're still going on with this.
Yeah, and I don't know. It seems like the world has lost its mind, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do, man. I mean, I remember. What was it, like maybe in April or May? Walking into 7-Eleven and like they kicking me out because I didn't have a mask, and I was like, I was so pissed. I was like, man, I'm never going to 7-Eleven again.
That's true.
But you know, I still go to 7-Eleven, and now I do put the mask on. I see the importance of the mask. I mean,
Yeah, mandatory everywhere now.
yeah, and I don't know, man. It's just everything's all tricky, and then you got the president catching COVID, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like.
And he was saying he was healthy, right? That his DNA came out as USA instead of.
And this motherfucker's crazy too, man. Like, I think he was saying the other day, oh, thank God I caught this. Like, why? Why would you say that? And then like, he still wants to go. I think on Monday he's gonna go to Florida. He wants to continue his campaign trail. But I mean, I don't know. You know, how
He's
it
not
works
thinking
with
it
COVID,
through, man.
But yeah, he's not thinking. Imagine going with all those people, and if he's still infectious, I don't know what's the window, the period, but.
I hear that even though after the 2-week period that you're better now, you still have the COVID. Like, you still can pass it on to other people.
See, there you go, man. And then this has only been last week. I mean, he was there in the hospital 2 days ago. So.
Yeah, for sure.
He wants to go back on the campaign trail. I mean, we understand the importance of it. Like,
yeah.
Definitely, we understand that, but I mean, he's putting people's lives at risk, and
yeah.
And then again, those people who are attending those rallies, I mean, they're putting their own life at risk. So
True.
you can't really blame Trump for it all. So as long as people keep continuing to show up, I mean, what can you do?
True.
But yeah, so Netflix, they recently just released this movie called The Social Dilemma, and it's fucking mind blowing. Like,
Yes, sir.
I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, I had an idea,
But it didn't go that into depth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has never been explained to me, and it's mind blowing. That there's, for lack of better words, it's mind blowing.
Yes.
And then they had this interesting quote from the movie. I think it was let me read it. I got it down here. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Yes,
and like,
that's the one I was going to ask you about too.
Yeah, and like, I always thought about it, like, I mean, now we have an idea, but when all this started, like, nobody had a clue, like, how's this working? Because this is still a new product. I remember Facebook, you know, I started it in I think in 2010. I don't know about you, but I got Facebook in 2010.
I think 2012, 2011 for me probably.
Yeah, I mean, and back then it was still a little new. I mean,
Yeah, it was new.
so we're just getting off of MySpace.
Yeah, I remember that.
Everybody was on MySpace.
The
But
top 7.
yeah, and like we never thought of these companies as billion-dollar companies. You know, I mean, especially because, like you said, it was free.
Yeah.
And you know, it's been 10 years since I had Facebook, and I think of like, where are they making their money from? Where the fuck is all this? Like, it's a free product. Like, how are they able to pay their
Yeah.
their employees? How are they able to create billions? You know, they're on the stock market. Like, where are they getting all this money from? And you think like, oh yeah, they're getting money from ads, but then like I think to myself like, man, like, is there that much money in ads? Like,
Yeah.
am I missing something? And yeah, this movie perfectly describes what the hell is going on
For sure.
in Silicon Valley. And it's not just Facebook, so like let me not
It's
sure
Google,
we're not
Snapchat, yeah.
We're not attacking Facebook. It's all of the
social medias pretty much.
Right. Gmail, all of that. Like they were talking about how some people are even addicted to their email. I mean,
yeah, that's me. Every single morning I check my emails.
No, I actually never had that thing. I would say maybe Facebook has been a little addicting, but not for what's it called, the likes or whatever. It's for me, it's been more addicting because like I said, I'm trying to grow this channel.
Yes.
So if it wasn't for this project I got going on, I think I would probably be off social media. But it's wild, and oh, there it goes.
My bad.
See now we're gonna edit that. No, we're not gonna edit that. We're gonna leave that. We're gonna let fucking everybody know what type of guest Mark is. Alright, he's the type of guy that fucking doesn't put his shit on silent. Nah, but yeah, man, it's crazy. These guys are pretty much collecting our data, and like I said, I've been on it for 10 years, so pretty much they have 10 years of data on me.
Yeah.
And when I started, it was what, I was 18, 19. So you know, they had me. They were able to get that information where I transformed from a teenager, teenager to
an adult.
And I think they're able to get that from a lot, right? A lot of people were on Facebook. We were teenagers, and now we're getting into adulthood. And it's just fucking wild. Like they're able to see, all right, who did this person turn out to be? And for all we know, like they manipulated us to
oh my
to
God,
be who
yes.
we are, right? I mean, that's what kind of the show goes into, what the movie goes into, rather. And it's scary, man, because we've never had something like this in history. I don't know. What do you think? There definitely needs to be regulated, but I don't know where the hell do you start.
It needs to be regulated, but there's no certain guideline to it, so they don't know how to start.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it should start with, I don't know. I remember in the movie saying that the AI was giving out information to what one wanted to see.
Right.
So technically, it's not even multiple points of view anymore. It's just one person's point of view.
Exactly.
So let's say I don't believe in this, and then I'll get a whole bunch of feeds saying that why not to believe this.
Yeah.
So it's just one perspective now instead of the whole way of seeing things differently throughout the world. It's just pretty much your point of view throughout the whole world.
Right.
And that's what's dividing us, really.
Yeah. That's a perfect. What we're gonna talk about too. This fucking division we have in this country. You know, everything seems binary. It's right, wrong, left wing, right wing, and man, like I said, seeing this movie, I was like, because I always thought like the information's there. Like, why the fuck are we so divided? Like, if the information is right there, but then the movie discusses like, is that information is not there for everybody. What I'm watching is different from what you're watching.
Yeah.
And you know, like you see people who are flat earthers. You know, that's been a big thing lately.
Yeah.
this whole thing, like we said, right wing, left wing, Black Lives Matters, and man, this movie, like, it really did open my eyes, and I was like, and I even did it with my wife. We had our Facebook, side by
Yeah.
side, and for me, it just had a bunch of ads for cars, like to
Mm.
purchase a car, and I have my car, I paid it off, but fucking seeing those ads, like, and I've been telling you with other friends, like, man, I sometimes feel like I want to purchase a car,
Oh,
but not. I was like, I don't want to get in debt, man. Like, I don't want to do that. Why am I gonna get myself in debt again? But these fucking ads, man, like,
yeah,
they're like,
for sure. They're listening onto our conversation
yeah,
every
they're
day.
listening, and then they give you the
The
best
best,
ads, the best,
yeah, it's
try to
tutored
convince
to
you.
your needs or your wants. That's what's driving us most of the time now.
Right. Like, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to buy a car, and like I said, I don't know if the phone's listening. I mean, it probably is now, because I mean, they're so geared towards us, right? These
Yeah.
ads, and yeah, man, like, so I think I'm going back and forth, like, man, don't want to buy a car or not. So lately, I've been getting lots of
Car ads.
ads for leases.
Oh,
Since,
okay.
since I'm undecided, do I want a car? He's probably figured out. All right, so this guy, he's undecided. So let's give him something that's in the middle. Like, he's
Yeah.
not gonna own it. He can get rid of it, but he's gonna get a new car. But
Yeah.
he can get rid of it in a couple of years, right?
Yeah. There's an example in the movie saying that we're like voodoo dolls.
Mm-hmm.
That they're manipulating. They're like, okay, send out this feed, send out that feed
Right.
to what he wants. You know?
Yeah, and it's definitely that going on, and I don't know, man. There definitely needs to be regulation. We're being manipulated like we've never been before.
For sure.
I mean, I don't know if this is it's always happened, and it's just evolved. Because I mean,
It did evolve. They were saying in the movie that when they first started, they were like they weren't thinking about this, how advanced it would get and how manipulative it would be. They never thought about okay, it's going to affect kids or they didn't think of it that way. They thought of it more as like oh they're reconnecting from a friend or like 10 miles away, 30 miles away, or like a whole
yeah,
a country away.
I mean, like I said, it's not to say that this movie is not just pure bad. Like it also shows all the good things we're able to reconnect with family, friends, that we separated from a long time ago. Even people who needed what's called like an organ transplant. And,
Yeah.
they're able to find people for donors and things like that. So there's definitely there's a lot of good things as well. So it's not just negative, but
Yeah.
man, like it's just scary how it can go either way, right?
Yep.
And like I was telling you, like it doesn't say this in the movie, but it just got me thinking, like this thing of us, humans being manipulated, like it's been very prevalent in the last, I would say, 100 years. I mean, before the internet, I would say it was television, because
But for sure.
that was our source of entertainment, whatever you want to call it, for a lot of people. We would watch TV, and even back then, like what was it, the 60s, 70s, like I think when television first started, there was like only like 4 or 5 channels.
Okay.
So everybody's watching the same thing, and like you just have this collected group. And then later in the 90s, we got, or 80s and 90s, we got cable and we got lots of channels, everything, like so much, right? And with the internet, that even spread it more. Everybody has their own thing. I mean, look at us. We have our own
That's true. Yeah.
own podcast now, right? And it just keeps going, and I don't know, like, where is this gonna stop, or are we at at the peak? Like,
I think we have to figure it out and put the regulation in before it gets more advanced. I mean, technology is not to blame. It just
right.
what I guess how everything is divided now.
And what's scary is like I said, technology is not to blame, but where are we going with this artificial intelligence? Like,
Yeah.
these fucking computers, they're trying to predict what we want to see, what we what we like, and I don't know, man. The computers, they have no emotion. They don't.
they're not taking into mind or how we feel or do anything.
Right.
It just, I guess it's more for like, their algorithm was more like, okay, what does this person want? Okay, let's keep going with things that would interest that person.
And what all this got me thinking is like, I'm interested to see like if we could get access to, this is invasion. This is obviously clearly invasion of privacy, but I would love to see what's the Facebook or what's the social media of people who've committed suicide, because like I said, the social media, it gives you things to see, like influences, right? So I wonder if they're being influenced to commit suicide. Like I don't know what type of ads they're seeing, or what type of groups, what type, things like
Yeah.
that. Like I don't know, maybe they're seeing for example, when I did the the podcast episode with Kevin about depression. We did an episode on depression, anxiety, and all this stuff, and then on my Facebook, phone listening, whatever, I started getting these recommendations, anxiety groups, depression groups, and like I said, I'm none of that. Like, I'm a very positive person, and then but I wanted to check it out, see,
Yeah.
and like being on those type of pages, you would think it helps, like, oh, for support, but if you're just surrounding yourself in negativity, and you're not get better. Like the only way to get better is through habits. You gotta do positive things. You gotta work out. You gotta talk to people,
Yeah.
socialize, like talk to face to face, not
Yeah.
not online.
Not through the phone or chat or.
And it's weird because like with Facebook we have so much access to people to talk, right? But reality, like, we don't have that many friends, like, in reality.
Yes.
Like, for me, I have, like, a bunch of Facebook friends, but, in reality, I have a couple friends that I really talk to, and you want to be one of them, bro. And,
Thank you, man.
and it's just weird how social media, it's supposed to bring us together, we have all these friends now, access to all these friends more than ever, but yet we're so far apart.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's scary where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. How what's your take on the social media?
It's scary, man. To be honest, it's true. Like, they'll send you notifications about anything, and then you're like, okay, let me look at my phone. Oh, they sent me a notification. Look at my phone. Like my phone rang.
Yeah.
I immediately went to my watch to check what it was.
Right.
Yeah, like, I guess that's our habit now. It's more like it. That's how it became, and then.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
A watch before was just to tell time, but
Yeah.
now you're getting notifications. You're seeing, and it talks about that dopamine rush.
Yes.
Like we want to see, hey, who's messaging me, like, and actually the funny thing, like, when I was watching this movie, I had to rewind like 3 or 4 times because I would be watching a movie for like 20 minutes, and then I would go on my phone, and I'd be like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
That's the whole point of the video.
This movie is telling me that's the issue, and,
Yeah.
and here I am,
I guess it's become a habit for us now.
Exactly, it really has become a habit, and yeah, I was like, whoa, like I always thought, like, man, I don't have these issues. Like, I'm watching this movie, right? I'm like,
Yeah, I don't
have these
that's
issues.
what I thought too. And then they brought up the fact that like, oh, checking the emails. I'm like, damn, that's me.
Yeah, and I was catching during the movie. I was like, fuck. I was like, damn. Like, I guess this really is an issue. If I'm having an issue, like, man, like, this is so crazy. Man, like, they make so much money. It's ridiculous. Like I said, we're the product now. Like,
Yeah.
they're selling our information. They're collecting our information and then selling our information to others, so that way they can create the perfect ad. And man, I don't know, man. This is scary. It definitely needs to be regulated. Definitely.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Alright, sorry guys for the pause. We'll edit that. Yeah, another thing I wanted to discuss that I saw right here was that life has become like algorithms, not just movie, but even like the stock market. It's
True.
stock market is different from the economy, and like we're all able to before, like in the Great Depression, the stock market went down. People freaked out, like, okay, I need to sell my stuff too. Today, like I said, through algorithms, through
Mm-hmm.
learning, the stock market crashes. People are like, that's an opportunity. I need to buy.
Yeah, that's changed their
So
mindset.
so so we have this fake stock market. It's inflated. Like our stock. I mean, we have so many fucking millions of people unemployed because of the virus, right?
Yeah.
And yet the stock market is fucking breaking records. It's all like almost at its all time high again. So I don't know, man. These algorithms, these computers, it's really changing society, and I'm kind of having this existential crisis, man. Because like I feel like fuck everything in my life is programmed.
Yeah,
Like
dude. I think most of it now is we've been programmed. Well, not programmed, but we've been guided towards things more like,
right,
okay, this is what I want. Oh, this is most popular with everyone else. Might as well try it, and then we get into the habit.
yeah, like
Or like everyone else is doing it. I mean, like why not you? You know, like
and
that's how it is. Like now it's like okay, I believe in this.
and
Who
recent
else follows me on this? And then that's how everything becomes.
right and recently I just started a game Among Us, which I showed you, and it's really popular right now with a bunch of people, and it's still growing. But I mean, the thing I like about that game is like it has ads, but I don't pay attention to them. I just like look away and just press the X.
Yeah.
But you know, it taught me something about something putting something what's it called in your subconscious, because I remember joining in the game. You can chat with people, right?
Mhm.
And I just randomly go tacos, like randomly, right?
Mhm.
Or at least I thought it was random. And then I see somebody else, their name, it says taco something, and I was like, but I didn't look at it, I didn't look at it.
Mhm.
So subconsciously, I must have seen it, but without like
Thinking about
like
it.
my consciously I wasn't looking at it, but subconsciously,
Yeah.
my peripheral whatever, it caught it, and then that little
So,
thing, it triggered something in my brain, tacos,
yeah.
like just the
Like
smallest thing.
little subliminal
Yeah,
messages. Yeah.
yeah, and that wasn't marketing. That was just someone putting tacos as their name.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine if someone is doing that as their name for a game, fucking these other people are taking advantage of that. Like
For sure.
marketing people, right? They're throwing little things that we're not picking up on it, at least not consciously, but
Yeah.
in the subconscious, in the back of our head, like it's triggering these signals, these things. I was like, man, like, oh, what a like, cause I'm like tacos. I'm like, oh, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, I was like, it's probably not a coincidence. It's probably because I like without consciously thinking, I saw tacos on somebody's name, and it
Yeah.
brought out tacos to me. But yeah, I mean, if that goes down on that little scale, like I can only imagine when marketing people do it, And I don't know, like I don't know what I'm gonna do from here on forward. Like I mean, even before, I remember when I would go on dates with my wife, like I didn't want to be on my phone, so I would leave my phone in the car, like just I wouldn't be distracted. I just want to have time with her.
Mhm.
And now when I'm with my wife, especially when I got into this game, like I spent the whole day with my wife. Got upset. She's like, "Why are you playing that game all night?" Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Fine, I'll play my own game or something."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck, like, yeah, I'm messing up a little right here, right?" But yeah, that's what social media has done to us, man. Like, it's really disconnected us. And I mean, how do you go about trying to balance, or I don't know if you have a balance. I don't know if it's taking over you.
Probably it has, dude. Because every time I go to sleep, I have my phone right next to me charging. Like I don't leave it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just like okay, I just need it for like when people call me or things. But I think it's just more like a tendency now
Mm-hmm.
to have my phone or bring my Apple Watch or something like that. It's
Yeah.
always a tendency now, even if it's not like for anything. It's just a tendency to always have it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like 2 days ago, I remember falling asleep, but I just remember falling asleep. But my wife said I was asleep with my phone, and she took a picture of me. I was asleep like this.
You
No,
were holding your phone.
I didn't have my phone in my hand, but like I guess it must have fell or something. I don't know, but like I fell asleep like this with my fucking hand over my over my face. Like if I had the phone, it's like fuck. Like this is a big problem, man.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think it's going to be easy to change.
Yeah, it's really
Like
hard.
it's everyone doing that now. It's like the norm, and to break away from the norm is very very hard.
Yeah, very hard. Like for me, I mean, I want to like I do want to do that challenge of putting my phone away for a week.
For 24
You
hours,
know,
right?
I want to do it for a week, man.
For a week.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I have this podcast going, and then you know, communication with my wife. I don't know. I just
Find it difficult.
I find it a little difficult because it's just so ingrained into our everyday needs now, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man.
I might go back to playing old little smartphone, little phones, the flip phones.
Flip phones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Disconnect from the world for a little bit.
definitely. Or I'm gonna just get rid of the apps. But like I said, I just gotta keep on the channel. But maybe I will take a week off, just be a little refreshed, see how it is. Cause man, it's crazy, man. Like this thing really opened my eyes, and I was like, fuck, like can't believe how blinded we are, or how manipulated we are, like
Yeah.
influenced. And in the movie, I forgot to write down the gentleman's name down, but he's doing a good cause.
Oh yeah, he's telling people, that it's a habit and we have to break away from it. And
Right.
he's trying to teach us that even though we don't believe that we are, we are. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
in some way, not even if it's like okay, we believe it. It maybe behind of our minds is like okay, yeah, we need our phone, we need this.
Yeah, and then I think it was in Myanmar where they were selling phones, and the phones were they gave you an account on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they gave you an account. When you bought the phone, it gave you an app on Facebook on the phone, and it was already. I think they made a profile for you at the same time.
And and this ended up leading to a bunch of Muslims getting killed. Am I correct? Right? Like
Yeah.
the Muslims in that country, they were being persecuted, and I was like, fuck, like. I mean, I don't know what's how Myanmar is, but I'm assuming before this, I mean, they were living together, everybody. But face having these phones with Facebook, it made people
Be divided.
Be divided. Look at this or be united, but united in a bad way because they're constantly fed from the government or whoever it was. They're being constantly fed. Muslims are bad people, and this led to a bunch of Muslims being killed in Myanmar.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that could be. You could see those type of things today here in the United States.
Yeah, and that reminds me of back in the day when Bush was president, Iraq. How everyone was like, okay, Iraqis.
Yeah. I mean, everybody. It was cool. I mean, it was cool and bad at the same time, right? Like the cool part, like right after 9/11, we were so united. Everybody was proud to be an American. Everybody was happy. We're one country. And now, like, fuck, if you're like proud to be an American, a lot of people are like, oh, that was racist.
Yeah.
That was a traitor. Or that was not a real Mexican. It's like, no, like I'm an American. Like, yeah. I'm proud of this country. It's giving me so many opportunities, and especially like if you travel, you see how fucking great this country is. I've gone to Mexico. I went to the border with Guatemala and everything. Like, I see what they're going through.
Yeah.
The struggles they have. And if you think you have it bad here in the U.S., like if you live in the projects, You know that's tough. First of all, I'm not
Yeah.
again. That's not tough. It is tough, but man, like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
there's some really bad things, some really really bad things going down south, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And other parts of the world, like you know, at least you can say, hey, you know, I'm in the projects. I have a roof over my head.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these other people in these other countries, they don't even have a roof. You know.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we're this country we really are blessed. Like as much as we like to think that our government, you know, they do a shitty job, which sometimes they do. But for the most part, I mean, it's amazing what this country has done for the United States. You know, I mean, even the stimulus check, man, like
For sure. It bailed out a lot of people.
helped out a lot of people. Definitely, definitely. You know, I was one of the I think you're one of the lucky ones too. You know, we were able
Yeah.
to keep our jobs, work full time and everything. But you know, like even for people like us working full time jobs, like those little 1,200 extra
That they gave us.
they help, man. You know,
Yeah.
paid off some bills, paid off whatever we needed to pay off. Yeah, man, like it's there's no other. I don't think there's any other country that really does it like us. I mean, I I live in Mexico as well, right? Like I said, I travel back and
Yes.
forth constantly, and I see how the government in Mexico is, and like there's so much potential for Mexico. Like
For sure.
it's just sadly it's corrupt, and it's corrupt in a way where it doesn't benefit anybody
Nobody.
except those in office.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., you can definitely say it's corrupt, but even though it's corrupt, you know we still get to you know
Reap some benefits.
yeah reap some benefits, enjoy a little bit of that. You know, it's not all just for fucking for the top. You know, like
Yeah.
in Mexico, it's vicious, man. Like fuck, like
Yes, sir.
and I don't know, man. Like this is all. It's eye opening, and it tells you like how. I hope when this whole pandemic ends, I hope people really do travel. I mean, you know, as soon as everybody were able that's healthy to travel, I really really hope that people can go to other countries and travel and see how they live, so that they can compare it to the United States and be like, you know what, like, why the fuck are we fighting?
Yeah, true.
This is a great country. Why are we doing this?
I've traveled to Nassau, or it's somewhere in the Bahamas or somewhere,
Mhm.
and I seen it's pretty bad up there. One of the hotels is only for the rich, and it's like $1 million a night. And then I seen houses of the poor people, and they're like made out of wood and mud, and their houses are really cheap. They don't have no water.
Yeah.
They have no plumbing, no nothing.
Mm.
So pretty much over there is like, and they have to do their own stuff,
Yeah.
you know. And they have like little places to sell things, but it's not enough, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, same. You know, I'm always a curious person. I like to talk to people, and remember when I was in where was it? I think it was Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Puerto Vallarta. And you know, I saw the employees there. I went to this all-inclusive hotel. You know, really nice and everything. And you know, I was just chopping it up with the staff right there. And I was
Mhm.
like, hey man, like, you know, how is it over here? What do you recommend? And things like that. And you know, they were really helpful. And then you know, I just decided like, oh yeah, so I was like, hey, what's there to do? And I was like, oh well, there's this festival in our village, and I was like, in our village? I'm like, don't you guys live here? Like, Puerto Vallarta? They're like, no, you know, all the workers here, they give us a bus. Like, we travel
Mhm.
like here now an hour and a half.
Oh shit.
And I was like, wow, like, you know, I just thought the workers, you know, they stayed close by, but apparently they have to take an hour and a half
That's
ride
right.
to get there and an hour and a half to get back home. And it's like, fuck, like that hits you. It's like you have all the rich here,
Yeah.
and the fucking poor are super far away. And it's like you have to bust them in just to work. Imagine like you have to bust fucking people in, like it's
Yeah.
fucked up. And you know, it's like you said with Nassau, right?
Yeah.
where you have all this wealthy hotels and everything, but then you got the poor people living in what in mud and what are you saying? They're building their homes mud and wood. Well,
Yeah, mud and sticks and
yeah, man, it's it's weird, and it seems like the wealth gap is only increasing. I don't know, man. It is I'm telling you, I really am having an existential crisis, bro. Like, man, it's hard because you have all this like in your face, and even people like I said, you'll have the facts, and other people are like, no, like you're wrong and this, but it's like tying it back to the movie. It's like what they're seeing, what they're being exposed to, is different from what we're being exposed to, and so it's like that's why we're so divided, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think as far as regulation, I think there needs to be a change so that we all see the same thing. Because if we're all seeing our own version and we're constantly being reinforced with our own version, that's not good.
Yeah, no. The world's not going to change if we keep seeing our own points of view.
Yeah, man. See how it goes. Oh yeah. So another thing I saw was I didn't even know this thing existed. It was, and I haven't heard nobody talk about it, but there's something called the, where is it? I have it here, the Stanford Persuasive Technology Lab, and I think for me that was one of like the biggest things. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
There's a class for this.
There's a lab of persuade. It's a lab, like, oh shit, like. I haven't seen nobody else talk about it, but I was like, what the fuck? What's going on, man? Like, I mean, Stanford's, they're pretty.
They're up there.
They're up there, especially with their psychology. I mean, just their ethics. What's it called? The Stanford prison experiment. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
No, I have not.
No? So in the Stanford prison experiment, it's like you had a bunch of volunteers to recreate, this fake prison environment. And random people were selected. You're either a prisoner or you're a guard. Well, after a couple of days, these guards, they started acting like assholes. Like the whole point of the experiment is to show the
changes or
the what's it called, the corruption that comes from gaining power, or not the corruption. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's just like the abuse that you take from when you get power, right? Or the abuse rather that you give towards other people. So in the Stanford prison experiment, I think there were, they're legit beating other people up, and like they were shouting at them, they're yelling at them, and then people who wanted to leave the experiment, like they eventually left, but it was very traumatizing,
Yeah, and for sure.
And this led to a change of the way we experiment, because like it was a really bad experiment. Anytime you experiment on people, it's bad.
It's a bad outcome.
I mean, we definitely learned a lot. Like, I mean, there's not to say that it wasn't beneficial. Like, there was, but these people, these innocent people, that they're fucked up. They're even though it was an experiment and they know it was an experiment, it was still traumatic. Because I mean, fuck, they let someone, yell at them and all this. And there's a bunch of experiments. I'm trying to think of another experiment. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a shock experiment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one where they're told, hey, keep raising the voltage.
Yeah, even if he screams, yeah.
Even though he screams, and then it gets to the point where like
they die or something like that, but it's not real.
But they still turn it because they're being told to,
the pressure.
Right. So it's I don't know. It's crazy, the power, and if you think about it, these are Facebook, Google, I don't know, Snapchat, whatever. These are all they all have power, and they're abusing it. They're starting
Yeah.
to abuse it. I mean, look at how much shit has gotten censored now. I mean, this country is based on freedom, right? Like, and you can go either way. Like, yeah, it's bullshit that they're spreading
Information.
false information. But I mean, who's that on? I mean, shouldn't it
Mm.
be on us that hey, it's up to us to find out what's the truth, what's not?
Yeah, true.
So
I guess it's just accessible and we believe it.
yeah, I mean, as far as a government, the one who's doing it perfect, I would have to say China. I mean, they have fucking control
Everything.
of their citizens, man. Like
That's true.
they're all acting as one unit. I mean, while here in the United States, we're so fucking divided, and that's the perfect case scenario for China, man. We're divided, and I don't know. God forbid anything happens, but I really am surprised. Like in these times while we're so divided and everything going on, like I'm surprised we haven't had anything bad happen. Like as far as like terrorist attack, or like if there was ever a time that they were doing, these
Yeah.
would be the times because we're so fucking divided.
Divided, yeah. You're right.
And thank God, luckily that something like that hasn't happened, and I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, man, these are scary times, bro.
Do you think the COVID is a factor to having us being more divided?
No, I just think we had all these issues, but the virus for sure the virus has made these issues that we had worse. So, but I think all these issues we already had them. It just amplified them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, fucking, it doesn't help when our leaders they're so divided. I mean, I wish Trump or Biden, where the fuck, I just wish they would say, hey, you know what? Let's work together. If we're right wing, left wing, like
Yeah.
let's be America first. This is not Democrat Republic. Like how fucking simple is that, man? Just say
That's
that.
true.
Like, let's all be American first.
I guess it's ego, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, and all we do is blame the other. Like, oh, it's your fault. This, it's your fault. That, and it's like what you were talking about earlier. The stimulus check. Like, people fucking need that's like, people like us. We don't really need it. I mean, luckily we're working,
Yeah.
right? But there's people who don't have jobs. They fucking need it. They have families. They need, and people like Nancy Pelosi, from the Democrats, Mitch McConnell, I think,
Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
from the Republicans, and now just Trump recently said like, oh, to halt the stimulus check. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you guys,
Yeah.
it's just a game to you guys, man. Like,
Yeah,
these
pretty
are
much.
people's lives, and like I said, like Republican or Democrat, like this is all bullshit. Yeah, think about it right now. Right now would be the perfect time for a third party
Yeah.
to get introduced. Like, just imagine a third party comes up like, hey, let's unite everybody. Like,
Yeah.
right now's the fucking time, but nobody. Bernie Sanders, man, he should have ran in as an independent. And I think for most of his career, he was always an independent. The only reason he joined to be Democratic nominee was, because that's where you get more and more votes as a Democrat, as an independent. It's hard, but I mean the way the shit is right now, I think right now would be the perfect time to introduce a independent candidate, especially someone who has a positive message, someone willing to work on both sides rather than choose a side. But yeah. Anything you want to add to that? I know it's pretty heavy.
Not really, man.
So, I mean, I guess we'll wrap it up with the movie. So, what you think about any final thoughts on the movie? That you want to add or you want to say anything?
No, I'm just gonna try to be less on social media now on.
Mm-hmm.
Try to be more conscious about it, and make people aware of it too, and show people the movie.
Yeah. that's why I wanted to make this podcast. Spread the awareness, and it's a great movie, and it teaches us. And if you have children,
Well, for sure, you
yeah, like
gotta show that to your kids. You gotta control.
yeah, it shows some crazy stat. Like
Yeah.
I think teenagers was it suicide?
Yeah, the suicide rate
It went
went
up
up
like
90 something percent compared, or like
for our no no
from,
for our generation it went up 90%.
yeah,
For the other generation, which is we're the millennials, and the
yeah,
other one's what generation
Z,
C. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. For the generation C, which are
mm,
younger, it went up
100%,
180,
yeah,
180%. And I was
uh-huh,
like, holy shit! Like, so like the younger you are, the more you're being
hmm,
influenced by social media. Like, the more negative impact it'll
uh-huh,
have on.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, man. So if you have kids, you guys,
Show this movie to your kids,
yeah,
and less social media for them too,
yeah,
and
definitely.
for everyone else too. I mean, we're all influenced by it. I mean, not just kids itself. It can be anyone at this point.
And there's a lot of parents who like they just want to keep the kid quiet so they give them the tablet, or I mean, I'm sure you've seen that
Uh,
all over, right?
for sure. My cousins have like iPads, and they're like, well, my little cousin, she's like maybe 3,
Mm.
and she has an iPad.
How old were you when you had your first cell phone?
I was when I had my first cell phone, I was in high school. I was in what, like 17,
Mm. Yeah,
16 or 17.
for me as well. As soon as I entered college, when I was 18, that's when I got my first cell phone. I got I think the second iPhone.
Okay,
It was a
I had a little brick phone
mm,
when I was in high school. Up until college, I got a smartphone.
yeah, and I don't know, man. If I would have gotten an iPhone like when I was younger, fuck, I don't know what. I don't know. I probably wouldn't give a shit about school. I really don't know. I don't know how that would have changed me. I remember when I had my Nano, like that was so fucking
I
world
remember
changing.
that. Yeah.
But having an iPhone in high school, especially when you're going through a lot, and when you're changing and you're trying to figure out who you are, like that's really hard. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
it's hard being a teenager as it is now. You're adding,
More pressure.
you're adding a phone, people judging you, criticizing you. Like as a teenager, you don't really know that how to manage that.
Yeah.
So now more than ever, parents need to be involved with the kids. Like make sure you know what your kids are watching. Try to limit the amount that they spend on the devices, because it's not healthy. It's
Yeah.
not good for them. It really isn't. So yeah. Eh. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that for the movie, and we'll talk a little bit about sports, man. I know you're looking into the Laker game versus Miami Heat.
Yep.
So I think just to let you guys know, right now the Lakers are up 3-1.
Yeah.
Playing tonight, or they're playing right now. Should almost.
Yeah. I think they're playing already.
Yeah. So who do you got? Who do you think's gonna win it?
Lakers.
Yeah.
Lakers fan since I was little, bro.
You think it's gonna be a close game, or you think it's
It's like going to be a close game like last time, man. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Hey, if the Lakers win, you think it's gonna be a fucking parade tonight or something?
Probably, dude. People
Even though we have a
nowadays,
fucking virus, you think people are still gonna go?
bro. People are gonna do it. Trust me. Have you seen the rallies last time because of the whole coronavirus? Not wearing a mask or wearing a mask. I mean, look at people. They still went. I mean,
we need little teams to win the World Series. I don't know who are the little teams.
I have no clue, man.
Fuck, I don't know, like Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would be considered a small team. But yeah, man. Los Angeles does not need this right now. We're getting it pretty bad with the virus, and
Yeah, for sure.
and Lakers winning, it's gonna bring a lot of people. Hopefully they don't. Guys, stay home if you can. Stay fucking home, please. But let's see what happens, man.
Yeah.
And then oh yeah, man. Then you guys know I got lucky. So I was able to get tickets to the World Series. So
What's up?
as long as it's not a sweep, which I hope in God it's not. If it's not a sweep, I'll be there for Game 5 at the World Series in Arlington. So that's pretty cool.
Congrats.
Hey, thanks, man. That'd be pretty cool to see a Dodgers Yankees in the World
Yeah,
Series, man. I mean, all right. So we got Lakers versus Heat in the finals, right?
yep,
And it's in Orlando. Like we're not the Lakers were. Imagine how cool would have been like going to Miami, coming to
for
Los
sure.
Angeles, enjoying that. And imagine now, like, if the Yankees and Dodgers go to the World Series, and it's not even gonna be in New York or LA. Like,
Yeah.
these are the fucking dream matchups that we want, and
Hmm.
we're getting the dream matchups, and it's fucked up because we can't attend. We can't.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be able to go, but I mean, you know, LA fans, New York fans, you know, it's gonna be hard for them.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, man, if y'all interested in going to World Series, hit your boy up. I still got a couple extra tickets. Let me know. Yeah, Mark. Is there anything else you want to add, man?
Not really, man. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on the show again.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out. Fuck, I just blanked out. What's the movie called again?
Social Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma. Yeah. It's mind blowing. And yeah, I'm gonna try to definitely get off this fucking thing as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just try to use it for work, strictly for work, because you know a lot of us say, "Oh, we're gonna use it for work," and then we end up excited.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me just check.
Let me just check Facebook real
Yeah,
quick,
yeah,
and then real quick become an hour or two.
Exactly, real quick. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Once again, subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button, and oh yeah,
Sure.
you want to promote yourself again, man? For your DJs or
Oh,
anything?
DJ Marky Mark, hit me up. Cheap prices, all kinds of music too.
Right on, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you again, Mark.
Thank
and,
you.
Thank you guys for joining us. Bye.